You know, the great teacher in my life, I'm one of those lucky people who can say it was my dad.
Mm,
He was a remarkable man and had a high school diploma. That was it as far as formal education was concerned. Came to Chicago in the Depression. Started selling chinaware and silverware, which doesn't impress any of my academic friends. That didn't get me very far when I was doing a PhD at Berkeley, but he was the best man I ever knew. And he ran a business that was more about people than about products, but the products needed to be honest and true and high quality and to do what he said they would do. So on the business front, he was a model of integrity to me, but as a parent, he was quite remarkable. I grew up in an affluent community, Wilmette, Illinois, on the North Shore of Chicago. And it was a community um, in which there was a great sense of entitlement among the kids. And my dad insisted that we participate in none of that. While my friends were lounging around the country club pool, I was carrying golf bags for their fathers on the golf course because I had to earn money and save to go to college, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So he he modeled a kind of fundamental humanity for me in a way that really reflected his blue collar roots, and he wanted me to sink my roots into some of that same soil, to value honest work, et cetera, et cetera. Um, but the thing I remember most clearly is the way he offered me safe space, and I think that my model, my first and finest model of safe space was with my dad. And I would define it this way. He offered me this powerful combination of unconditional love, that there wasn't anything I could do to lose his love. And I didn't need to do anything to earn it either. He just loved me, period, as he did my two somewhat younger sisters. And at the same time, that unconditional love had within it what I would call a charged expectancy. It wasn't particular expectations. It wasn't, now, Park, I want you to do this or I want you to do that. He opened the field for me to pursue my own leadings, my own visions, my own sense of possibility. But the charged expectancy was that I could be something better every day, that I could grow into my own power, to put it in the terms that you've been using here tonight. Um, and he launched me on a never-ending story that has had a lot to do with wanting to create that same kind of safe space for other people, um, wanting to extend to them, if not unconditional love, which is a very high standard, at least unconditional regard in all of the people that I work with. And once you do that, it's very easy to see that everyone's worthy of unconditional regard. Once you establish the conditions where it's safe enough for them to emerge in a soulful, wholehearted, truthful way, to be what Thomas Merton called their true selves, you see that they're worthy of unconditional regard. And once you introduce those elements of charged expectancy, that is not do this, do that, but good questions like, what is your source of hope and meaning in life? What are your deepest fears? And how can we work together to mitigate against them in a way that liberates both of us? These basic questions about what do we love and what do we fear sort of bring us onto common ground very, very quickly. Whereas if we debate tax policy, that's not going to happen. Um, so Dad was my greatest teacher, and I think gave me a model of that I'm still tracking to this day at age 77, as the Center for Courage and Renewal, which I founded in the mid-90s, now works around the world with 300 facilitators and hundreds of thousands of people brought into our retreat settings in ways that transform their lives and the lives of the people they work with and the institutions they work in.